Here we go. Marion.
Hello,
Hey,
Ellen.
hello. It is so good to see you. And I met you, let's see, in the last 6 months. We were in a group together, weren't we?
Yes, we certainly were. Yeah.
And it was an amazing group for business women.
Yeah, so amazing.
Entrepreneurs. So one of the reasons I called you on here is because of what you stand for and what you bring to the planet. And you are bringing, as a soul purpose coach, which I believe you call yourself, Joy, also known as the Joy Activator. But you know that life has all of its struggles and it has all sorts of things with it. And sometimes to come to that place of joy or to be a soul purpose coach, you have a journey. And so, Marion, I would love for you to just introduce yourself to the audience. Tell us a little bit how you got into this, and let's take it from there.
Okay, hello and welcome. And it is my joy to be here with you this afternoon. Going back many, many, many years and to how I got to where I am now. I married a week after my 70th birthday and had 3 children in my 20s. Started a career in the NHS in my 30s. So there were sort of like little decades where I was doing things, and then worked in the NHS for 30 years. I've always been interested in mediums, psychics, and all of that sort of thing. And I'd been to see the occasional medium. I'd had my tarot cards done from time to time, but it was very much just being outside looking in, doing it.
Yes.
And throughout my work within the NHS, I'd always mentored and supported staff, which I think is where my sort of coaching element came in. But I was a people pleaser. In the last 10 years or so, I was working 60 hours a week. Believe me, there was no joy in my life. My life was completely stressed. And it's really started to have, and I know that some people who are watching this will recognize this, it does have a toll on you. It has a toll on your body, on your energy, on your stress levels and your vibration, everything goes down. And around about 2012, I fell out of love with my job, completely fell out of love with what I was doing. It was an effort to get out of bed in the morning and to go to work and all of those sorts of things. And I was being told there is more. So I was 58, in my late 50s.
Now, can I just interrupt for a second? Was that your intuition telling you that there was more? Where was that coming from?
It was my soul telling me. My soul was whispering to me, and I was being told to listen to the whispers of my soul. And everywhere I went, I saw the word soul. Even to a chap walking through the supermarket with a big yellow bag strapped on his shoulder with the word soul written across it. So again, it was very much the universe sending me the signs that I needed to sit up and take notice.
Yes.
Took me another 2 years to do that. But in 2014, I left the job that I was doing. The universe gave me the out. It gave me the exit, which was absolutely perfect. And while I was waiting for the exit, I trained as a life coach. So I had sort of those bits and pieces under my sort of belt, as I were, because I wanted to have some official structure and that to what was next for me, because I'd always worked in a structure. I'd always worked in the structure of the NHS, but I wanted sort of to continue with the structure. But now I realize I don't need that. I don't need the structure. I can just free flow, and it's great.
Right.
And I went to the Holistic Healing College in London and did lots of weekend courses on theta healing, hypnotherapy, all sorts of things, and got my diploma in holistic healing. And at that time, I learned how to read people's soul plans.
What does that mean? A
soul plan is, I take the your full name as it is on your birth certificate. And then I plot your star of creation. And then I look at it and I can tell you each pot, it looks at your challenges, your talents, your goals and your soul purpose, the reason you're here. And it was really interesting when I had my own one done, and it just all fell into place, you know, that's it. So I started doing soul plan. I started reading oracle cards, and it all just started to come to me very sort of naturally. And in the meantime, the family was growing. Grandchildren were coming along at a rate of knots.
Right.
As I said to you earlier, I have 10.
Right.
So, and there was all the bits and pieces of helping, you know, nurture and grow those. But it really was very much that my soul was talking to me. I had to listen to the whispers of my soul. And I quite often tell people to listen to the whispers of their soul, because it will call you. It will nudge you. It will pull the little strings in there. So you have no choice but to listen. And the universe has a way of making you stop and take notice. It really, really does. And I got into manifesting seriously 3, maybe 4 years ago now. But what was interesting was once I'd got into manifesting seriously, I realized that I've always manifested. I just put it down to right place, right time, right circumstances, or even wrong place, wrong time, wrong circumstances when I'd manifested something that I hadn't wanted. So I really started to learn about manifesting. But my soul journey in earnest, in all sort of really coming into what's next for me, who am I, exploring me, aligning with my purpose and everything, I think started around about 2012. It was slow at first because we do tend to, the fear comes in, doesn't it?
Yes.
The fear comes in, and you know, and you sort of think, what is this? What is going on here? And, you know, not really sure about what was going on for me. Because my life has sort of gone along on a pattern for all those years. But it's an interesting journey, and it continues even now, as I continue deeply within the manifesting. And very, very recently, we were in a meditation in the group that we were in together.
Yes.
We were in a meditation, and I think we were in the meditation. One of the questions I asked, you know, what is my gift? What's my purpose? Why am I here? And I got told, you are the Joy Activator, which just sent me off into a bit of giggles, you know, the Joy Activator. My goodness me. But
okay, so I'm going to stop you here for a second before we move into joy and the manifesting. I want to go back a little bit because you talk a lot about the soul.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if you could just explain what you believe the soul is and what that looks like for each of us to be able to tap into that. Because it sounds like to me, you had all the signs, things were happening, life was going along, but your soul was calling. So what do you mean by that?
My soul, I think it is that. I think your heart and soul are two different entities in your body. I mean, your heart is there, it's pumping, it's keeping you alive, and it works with your emotions and everything. But I believe that your soul is much, much deeper. Your soul is the very essence of you. Your soul is your essence. Your soul is your purpose in life. It's your soul if you listen to it and you align with it, and you align with your true self, because for me, my soul is my true self. It's who I am. And very interestingly, I've been reading a lot of stuff a while ago about where you would perhaps introduce yourself, like, I'm Marion Morley. When I was working, I'm Marion Morley. I am a hotel services manager, which is my job. But that doesn't define me. What I do doesn't define me. I am Marion Morley, and it's my soul that defines me. It's my soul that stands for who I am. It's standing in my power. It's standing in my true authenticity. It's integrity, and it's just showing the world who I am. And as to what it looks like, I don't know, but it just feels lovely and warm and just really, and just tapping into that and just feeling into that when you're meditating, or just even when you have those sort of little moments of fear and you sort of catch yourself and just stop and take a breath and just call into your soul. It's just so beautiful. And listening, it's a real art to be able to listen to what your inner, it's your inner self, it's the very core of you, I think, is really, it's your core essence.
Now, do you think that people have to go into deep places of meditation to hear their soul, or can they hear it anywhere? Is this something anybody can do?
Yeah, you can hear it anywhere. You just have to open your ears and listen. Because I wasn't going into deep meditation when I first heard mine. When I first heard the calling of my soul, it was sometimes it comes in sleep. It
Right,
will come in your dream.
right.
So you'll sleep and you'll get sort of the downloads and the little messages, or it'll be that random thought that comes into your head. Or it can, or a lot of me, I often talk about my random thoughts because I sort of get them, and that is my soul telling me that I need to be doing something or going somewhere or just being something. But my soul is the very essence of me. It's who I am. It's my purpose, and it's my passion.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and you don't have to be sort of sitting there on the meditation stool with your hands like this, meditating, saying, "Oh, come on, soul, speak to me, speak to me." You know, you just have to do that. You know, that's ridiculous. It's just about getting in tune with yourself.
Yes, I think it's also like becoming aware. You were talking about how you saw the word soul everywhere.
Yeah.
It's the synchronicities, isn't it? It's those things that keep coming over and over to bring you into a place of awareness.
Yeah. I mean, I do oracle card readings, and I do repeat readings for some people, and quite often they will get the same message, and I just think, you are being told. You are being told.
Yes.
And when you get this, if you ever have a reading and you get the same cards, or you do readings for yourself and the same cards come up, you're being told because you're not listening, and you're being told to listen. And that's really.
So why do you think people don't listen? What is the reason that we don't listen to our soul enough?
Too busy.
Okay.
Too rushing around like I was, people pleasing, having so much stuff going on in their life. And I think the big thing for me is not having time for yourself. It's important to have time for you. The self-care is so important, because when you do the self-care, that's when you can come into your soul. When you do the self-care, when you sort of, we're incredibly lucky, we have a beautiful garden. I have an egg chair. I love my egg chair. And I can go out and sit and swing in the egg chair with a cup of coffee and just be me and just step into me. So I think if you can take time out each day just to step into you for a couple of minutes, you will start to get to know your essence and your soul, and start to get to be able to hear it. But I think a lot of it as well is fear.
Fear.
Because people don't understand it. It was very much fear with me, first of all. Didn't understand.
What were you afraid of? Was it because you didn't understand, or what?
I didn't understand. Didn't understand what it was and what was going on. And you know, I had started to meditate a little bit then, because I thought it would be good for me, particularly with the levels of stress that I was under. And yeah, lots of things were coming up. So I think it was fear. And sometimes when you just tend to push it over. But you know what, your spirituality, your spiritual self, because when I do soul plan readings, I look at your normal at yourself. Oh. I look at your challenges, your talents and your goals from birth up to about 35.
Mhm.
And then I go into your spiritual side, which I call your onward journey.
Mhm.
And quite often I found with a lot of clients that I've had, the spiritual has been knocking them on the shoulder. It's been tapping them saying, I'm here, listen to me. And they just keep brushing it off. And
Mhm.
it's because you're not ready. They're not ready. They're not ready to tap into that yet. So I think a lot of it is having to be ready to listen, to have come to that stage in your life where that crossroads where you're saying, there's got to be more.
Right. And that's what happened to you.
That's what's
There's
happening.
more, there's more,
There
there's
has to be
more.
more. There has to be more. There has to be more than getting up at 6 in the morning, arriving at the office at 7:30, leaving at 6 at night, arriving home at 7, and just rinse and repeat every day. There had to be more to that. And I found more.
Yes, you did. You have found more.
Yeah.
You totally have. And so with the soul as well, and just, who you are, is healing a part of what you've been experiencing with, like, your inner child, all of that. So does healing help you hear your soul? If so, can you talk a little bit about that?
Healing, I actually have regular healing with a wonderful lady I know who's an absolutely super healer. But yeah, healing is really important, and you can work on yourself with healing. Soul plan, actually, the energies of soul plan are very healing. And when I do soul plan readings for somebody, we will go through a healing meditation at the end of it to try and integrate all of the things that have come out from it. But yeah, healing is really important. But it's also the healing of self-care. The healing of
Go for
self-care.
it.
Yeah, the healing of self-care is so important, because I would say probably a huge percentage of us are people pleasers.
Yeah.
I mean, we put everybody and everything else before ourselves.
Yes.
We please our husbands, our partners, our lovers, our children, our employers, our businesses, and all of that sort of thing. And we put all of that before us. So sort of they're out there and we're way back at the queue. But I think if you get into the habit of a little bit of self-care, make it a practice every single day, not just once a week. Oh, it's Sunday, I'm going to have a bit of self-care, I'm going to go to a spa or whatever. If you can make a little bit of self-care for you every day, like treating yourself to something special, even just treating yourself to sitting down with, mine would be coffee, because you all know I'm a coffee person. Yeah. Coffee, I'm always grateful for my coffee. But if you're just sitting down for that 10 minutes to yourself, giving yourself that bit of self-care and that bit of self-love, you will be surprised at how healing that is. At how healing, being gentle with yourself, being kind with yourself, all of these things all add up to the self-care and the healing. And yeah, if you are able to go and have healing, which I'm very lucky to do that, then that's wonderful, because that all helps with you. It all helps with you connecting in with yourself, connecting in with your soul. Because if you think, we biff and batter our bodies and our souls and our minds and everything constantly with all of the stuff that comes in, the negativity, we just batter ourselves with it. So for me, it's now time to switch on to press the kindness button, and be kind to yourself. And and that's really what it means to me.
What's really interesting, Marion, is when I went on a sabbatical, which I had done before this year, I had been on a sabbatical for a time. I actually didn't know what I needed, and I didn't know what I liked, because I had gotten so inundated with work and inundated with helping and inundating, with, the people pleasing and all of these things, And I didn't even know what I liked. And what really worked for me, and this I think is something too that you've probably experienced, was I would just go out in nature. That's where it started for me. And wherever I was, I went out in nature. Sometimes I'd have my shoes off. Now I was in Florida, so that was kind of helpful. The weather was really working for me. But I, went out and put my feet in the grass or put my feet in the sand. And I would be like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And then I'd be inundated again with like my thoughts and my mind and like all of these things. But over time, that 30 seconds turned into hours of just listening and writing. I did a lot of journal writing during that time, getting out things, releasing things, sitting in silence, just staring at a wall was probably the inspiration behind the book that I wrote in a lot of ways, was because there was just that quiet, that decluttering of stuff.
I journal loads. I've got a whole box behind me in the corner that's full of all my old journals. And, sometimes it's as simple as sitting there with a blank page and just writing at the top of the page, what do I need to know today?
Yes.
And then just write. And it hasn't got to be legible. It hasn't got to be properly spelt. You haven't got to be grammatically correct. It's just your thoughts coming out on the paper. And I often ask myself, what do I need to know today? What do I want to feel today? Because feeling good and feeling relaxed and comfortable is all very important. And sometimes I write, what do I want to feel today? And I'll want to feel accomplished and successful. And that would probably be after a day where I've been procrastinating like mad. I haven't got anything done. So the next day I want to feel like I've accomplished something.
Absolutely.
And what do I want to create today is another good one to write. So there are lots of good journal prompts and things around, but I like to keep it simple. And when I ask, what do I need to know today, I will often get a download from my guides.
Absolutely.
And
So you do use guides in your life. Can you talk a little bit about those? What that how do you know you have guides? When did they come? All of that.
I think I've always had a guide there. I mean, I've always had a guide there, but not perhaps acknowledged them. But very much so in the last 6 years, maybe a little bit more, when I've got more into meditation or I talk to myself in the car and all of that sort of thing. I feel my guides. I feel them very much as I feel them around my head, around my face, as a bit of a tickle or my shoulder. I always know when my mum is with me because I get a pain in my shoulder here because she had surgery on her shoulder and it was the last thing she had done. So I know that's her showing me that she's there. But yeah, I always know when they're there because I get that tingle, that tickle, that just sort of feeling that they're there. And you can call them in at any time. It's so, you just call them in. Come and join me, come and speak to me, come and be with me. And I've done lots of work with I was in a psychic development circle quite a few years ago, but that finished. But that really helped open me up to my guides, really opened up to my guides. And my guardian angel is Uriel. So that's really good. So I have my guardian angel. And I always have angels around me. I do feel that they're around me. And I'll tell you a little funny story that involves my 7-year-old granddaughter. I often pick her up from school and she said to me, "You've parked in the same place again, Nan." And I said, "Yeah, because I asked the parking angel to find me the perfect spot." Disbelieving.
Exactly.
It's 7-year-old madam. So I had to take her to the opticians for an appointment. And the place we had to go is notoriously bad for parking. So as we were driving down the high street, I said out loud, "Please, parking angel, find me the perfect parking spot for Pippa's appointment." Believe me, this is no word of a lie. As we got down to the opticians, somebody pulled out and I pulled in.
Right.
Well, the look on this child's face was absolutely amazing. Because she now believes in angels because she told me they weren't real.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
So yeah, angels are real. They are real and they
Yes.
are there. And they're there to help you. And they're only just a call away. The same with your guides. I mean, I ask my guides, what do I need to know today? And they tell me,
Mm.
they tell me, and it goes down in my journal. For instance, in January, as you know, I was having a pretty rough month in January.
Yes.
I was really all discombobulated all over the place. And my guides were just telling me, don't worry, pull back, rest, recuperate, be like the caterpillar waiting to emerge.
Mm.
And that was it. And that was the message that I was getting. Rest, recuperate, pull back,
Mm.
breathe,
Mm.
breathe, which is a good one. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So you mentioned something about feeling into things, that feeling is really, really important, which we know
Feeling
is
is
going
really
to probably
important.
spin off here into joy.
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about the importance of
The
feeling.
and it really comes into manifesting. It really
And
does.
what is manifesting?
Manifesting is being able to create, to create the life that you want. It's being able to call in from the universe to set out your intentions of what you want. Excuse me. But the important thing about it is you have got to be so clear about what you want, and also clear about how you want that to make you feel. For example, you can't say, okay, universe, I want to win the lottery tonight, plonk £1 million into my lap.
Right.
It isn't going to happen. If it is that you want, and this is the easiest way I can explain feelings. If you want to have a certain amount of money, say you want to have £10,000, and you have to look at, why do you want that £10,000? What are you going to spend it? And how is it going to make you feel? If you want that dream house, how are you going to feel when you are wandering around that dream house, stroking all those beautiful counters? And you've got a lovely vase of flowers in the hallway as you come in. And it's all about feeling into, yes, you've got it, the joy. And it is such a small word, but it just spreads so far. It just spreads so far. So for me, feeling good, feeling excited, feeling accomplished, feeling successful, all of these things are all important. And it is about being able to step into those feelings because they raise your vibration. They just bring you up. But when you're feeling fed up, miserable, worried, fearful, all of those sorts of things, that's what you're going to get more of. The universe is going to send you more worry. If you're worrying about debt, the universe is going to send you more debt because it's hearing the word debt. When you're feeling worrying about your health, then it's just going to send you that vibration that lowers everything down. But when you're feeling good about yourself and you're feeling good about your health and you're doing things to make your health better, like I have a client that I've been working with recently who wanted to improve her health, and she's now started to go out for walks. And the other day she messaged me and said, I can walk up the hill now without puffing. It feels so good. And that's it. It's just, you do have to take actions. You do have to do the work, but you can't just say, I want good health, I want money, I want a dream house. You've got to be so specific about it. And that's what I teach in my challenges and in my coaching.
So it can't just be like a hemming and hawing thing, like, oh, you're a wishy-washy. I kind of want this, I kind of want that.
No, you've got to be really, really clear about what you want, why you want it. And for me, the most important thing is, how are you going to feel? And you know what? You need to add a huge, huge dose of gratitude in there as well.
Talk about gratitude.
Yeah, gratitude is for me the number one pillar of manifesting. When you are thankful and grateful for what you have already in your life, I mean, I'm so grateful that I have so much. I have all my family. I have a beautiful house. We have a lovely wraparound garden and all of those things. But all the time that you are grateful for what you have and you are grateful for what is to come, then the universe sends you more and more stuff to be grateful for. So I can quite instantly manifest in the mornings when I'm laying in bed. I think, oh, I'm really grateful for that lovely cup of coffee that's just been brought up to me.
Yes. Yes.
And it arrives.
Yes. Yes. So what do you tell someone who, because I think like joy, and I think joy is different from happiness. I believe that
Yes.
happiness is fleeting. And I
Yeah.
believe that joy is very foundational to us. We just don't always know it.
Mhm.
So people are looking around the world. They're looking at all the crap that's happening, right? The news is
Yeah,
inundated with this, that, and the other. How do you tell someone to be joyful? Like what does that look like in the midst? Because they might say to
Yeah.
you, look, Marion, life sucks, and here's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I get told that all the time, that I'm bonkers and I don't. Yeah. But what I want to say first of all is that joy is in the soul. You will find joy in your soul. You just need to allow it to come out. Happiness is on the face. Happiness is on the face. That's how you express you're happy with what you're doing. And even if you are having the crappiest of days, the worst day ever, you're thinking, what else can go wrong? If you look, you will find that tiny chink of joy in something. It is up to you to look for it and to find it, because it is there. There is joy in every moment of the day.
Mhm.
And we, as you said, there's so much turmoil going on around the world, but there is still joy within that. There is still joy that you've woken up every morning. I'm here, the sun is shining. It's joyful that I'm here talking to you and just telling everybody it's my joy to do that, to talk about joy. But it is up to you to find that little piece of joy, that little piece of light, that chink. And then once you find that and you allow that to open, then it just spreads. And then the next day or the next minute or the next hour, instead of finding that chink of joy, you'll find a chunk of joy.
Right.
And then next you'll find a whole big opening of joy.
Yes.
But you have to allow joy in. You have to allow the joy to come. And we all know those negative people, those people that complain from the moment they wake up in the morning till they go to bed in the evening. And it's almost as if the joy is completely sucked out of them. But if only they could turn around and see the joy. And with somebody that I was working with recently, he said that him and his partner picked up a lady every few days to take her into town to do the shopping, and she was always complaining. So he started to say to her, it's a great day, isn't it? Every time she got in the car. And it was mutter, 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 mum, mum, mum. Next time, it's a great day, isn't it? And after about 2 weeks, he said, it's a great day, isn't it? And she said, yes, it is. So you can see how with the joy you can influence others, which is why I'm a joy activator, because I just love to influence joy. But also, when you wake up in the morning, if you declare or you state that it's going to be a great day, it's going to be a joyous day, I'm going to achieve so much today. If you set that intention as soon as you wake up, for having a joyous day, for having a good day. Okay, it may be that you are not ready to say today is going to be a great day. It could be that today is going to be a better day, or today is going to be, it's going to be a good day. Today is going to be better than yesterday. Start setting those intentions and you will see how it grows. And soon you'll be waking up, you'll be throwing the covers off you, windows, curtains open wide. You know what? Today is a great day.
Now,
And that's
setting
what
intentions, you mentioned setting intentions because I believe that that's important.
yeah.
Do you set intentions just within your mind, or do you set intentions with how you're going to speak? Because words are containers of power, and it's
Yes.
my understanding that affirmations, which I believe are really, really important to your health and
Yeah.
to seeing things happen in your life, are important. So is it that? Is it with your thoughts, with your words?
You
What?
can do it in lots of situations. Yes, with your thoughts. I mean, again, it's watching your thoughts. It's observing, seeing the negative ones that come in and flipping them round. Example, you might be getting dressed to go out and then you're looking in the mirror and you think, oh, I look terrible in this dress. Oh, I wish I hadn't bought it now. Oh, and these are the thoughts. But by setting the intention that actually flipping that thought over to actually, you look really good. You look great. With one of my grandchildren who's having a real meltdown in her last 6 months at uni, I said, Liv, if you get up each morning and look in the mirror, and it doesn't matter if you've got bed hair and last night's mascara running down your face, if you say, my God, Liv, you look beautiful today, and setting that intention, then you will have a beautiful day. So you can set the intention by speaking the intention. You can set the intention by thought. You can even, I mean, in your journal, set your intentions in your journal, writing out what you want. Or when you are, when I'm manifesting, when I'm in the full manifesting mode, that I want to really set an intention to create something and to bring something in. And right now is perfect because we've got Ostara, new beginnings, and also we're in new moon energy. So if you want to do something like that, now is perfect. I will make a bit of a ritual. I have some music playing, a glass of wine or a cup of coffee or whatever I want. I'll have my journal and some candles, and I'll make it a little ritual. And I will write a letter to the universe. Dear universe, I want to blah, 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 blah. I want to bring in, dear universe, I would love to have a baby pink Volkswagen Beetle Cabriolet, my dream car. Would love one of those. And then you just write about this car, how it's going to make you feel, what it's going to look like, what the level is going to smell like. I know somebody who did my challenges and she wanted a red Mini Cooper thing, and she's now got that. Because and it is, so you can write it out. But when you write out, when you're writing it, or even when you're thinking it or wording it, you make it as explicit and as you just put in so much detail as you can. You can visualize your intentions. There are just so many ways that you can do it. And affirmations are absolutely perfect.
Yes.
And actually getting up in the morning and declaring that today I'm going to have a great day is an affirmation.
Yes. Yes.
And affirmation like I am worthy, I am loved, I am successful, I am living the best life I can. All of these things are affirmations. And like sort of, and what I encourage people to do is to write their own affirmations because it's coming from their heart. It's their words. Because if I say to you, your affirmation could be, I am living the best life I can. You might say it in a different way. So how I say it is not singing to you.
Exactly.
So it comes from your heart. And I do encourage people to write their own affirmations. I will give them suggestions to sort of help them along, because sometimes you just need that little bit of a hint.
Absolutely.
To do it.
Right.
But I am 2 of the most powerful words in the dictionary, in the language, because it's what you put after them gives them the power.
Yeah.
I am worthy. I am successful. I am loved.
It's like bringing it into the present is what it sounds like to me. You are calling those things not in one way as though they are right now.
And very much.
Yeah. And I would say, like, it's interesting because in my own life, had I heard this 10 years ago, I would have laughed in your face and probably would have been like, what the hell, Marion? What are you talking about? Because in many ways, because I lived such a life of comparing myself to other people and what other people had or what they were doing or what they looked like or who they had in their lives, yada, yada. Because all that comparison was going on, there was nothing coming out of my mouth that was positive.
No.
And what I ended up having to do, and I think this is a brilliant thing to do, is just shut off the news, shut out the things that are increasing those negative vibes, those negative feelings, those cluttering of your mind, and begin to just really sit down with myself and say, okay, Ellen, let's really look at this. And I would say that to line up my affirmations with who I really am, I had to go through healing. I had to work out the limiting beliefs. I had to see that I had all these limiting beliefs that I was speaking out into the existence. No wonder things weren't happening the way I wanted them to.
Because
I was perpetuating this cycle of negativity.
You're putting the blocks and the bumps in the road.
Absolutely.
And one thing with the limiting beliefs, I will say, is face them. Face them. And I expect you is have a look at them. I'm not good enough.
Oh,
have a look at it. Is that true? Who told you that? Where has it come from?
Right.
Look at everything you've achieved so far in your life. Quite often when I'm coaching, I will tell people to write a list of everything they've achieved, right down from the badge they got in the brownies up to now, and then just have a look at that great big huge long list of everything they've achieved, and then turn around and tell themselves that they're not good enough, because they are good enough.
Yes.
And it is something that has been told to you, that has been inferred to you and drilled into you from when you were very little. Because joy is our natural state. We're born into joy. I mean, you look at a newborn baby, 6 weeks old, and you're tickling it and cooing at it, and it will giggle at you. So we are just born into joy. It is our natural state. It just gets knocked out of us along the way.
Right.
This is why my mission is to help people to find their joy, as many as people to find their joy and to live in joy and to allow joy to come into their lives.
Allow joy. Now there's something interesting. It's that giving yourself permission to be joyful.
Yes.
Because misery loves company. Misery likes to collude.
Yeah.
And joy kind of knocks that out of the park. And so then it's like flipping it on its head and saying, I'm going to allow myself
to be joyful
in the midst of all of this stuff that's happening. It doesn't mean stuff doesn't happen. It just means in the midst of all of this, I'm going to give myself permission to come with a different spirit, to come with a different edge to it. I don't have to collude. You don't have to collude.
No. And some days stuff happens and
absolutely.
But if you can raise your vibration or move your joy barometer over 51%, then you're winning. Because you've tipped that balance. You've tipped that balance from misery to joy, so that it's there. So really allow joy in, align with joy, and just let your soul speak to you. Just listen to it, because your soul just wants to bring you back to joy. And this is what I've learned over the last 10 years or so. There is no need to be stressed, people pleasing, running around like Billy O. There is more. There is so much more to you. There is so much more to your life. And then when you find that and you receive that and you accept it and you accept yourself, then the magic happens. The magic happens. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Now, do you think that joy can sometimes be used as a bypassing technique? Do you think people do that? Like in the sense of, okay, I'll give an example. I saw somebody one time who kept saying they were healed of something, okay, that they were over something. And that was what was coming out of their mouth. But what was in their life was not that. And it felt like they were dissing reality, like they actually weren't looking at reality. So how do you balance with your clients the attitude and the lifestyle of gratitude and joy, but not bypassing stuff either.
Yeah, but then that's all comes in within the coaching, because
Okay.
you are looking at their stuff, you are looking at what they need to face, their fears and everything. And as you coach and you work with them, you get them to face those fears. Yeah, because I've worked with people who've had sort of real fears about being on their own, not wanting to separate from a partnership, because it means that they'll be on their own, and the fear is that they will be on their own, and they sort of put in this false happiness into the relationship. Oh, well, it's not as bad as I said it was, it's not as bad as I thought it was. And in no way am I a relationship coach. I don't work in that area. I am a manifesting coach. But again, it's about helping them to face their fears, just asking those pertinent questions. And that is a really, and they may not come up with anything at that time. I mean, I do meditations with them. I do oracle card readings with them when I'm coaching, because we then see what comes up. And they will go away from our sessions, and then they'll come back to me a few days later and go, yes. So again, it's helping people to it's not wanting them to be in the illusion of being joy.
Yes.
Because it can be, I'm all joyful. Oh yeah, Marion says be joyful, so
Happy,
I'm going to be
happy.
joyful.
Right.
I'm happy. Everything is wonderful. No, stuff happens.
Yeah, it does.
Stuff happens, and it is all about dealing with that stuff. Being grateful for the lesson it's taught you. And it's okay to fail, and it's okay to fall down, and it's okay to have a bad day. What isn't okay is to stay there.
Right.
You need to pick yourself up and just find that little light that will keep you moving forward. And it's keeping the momentum going and keeping moving forward, which is so important. But again, it's not denying the stuff that's happening.
Yes.
It's standing still, looking at it, facing it, and dealing with it.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Marion. Marion, that's wisdom there. That's wisdom. Really, because I think like people could be sitting here listening to you going, well, yeah, of course she has it, good because she's got X, Y, Z, but that doesn't mean you don't have bad days. And I think when we compare our pain, that is a big problem. We compare that a lot. And I've been guilty of comparing pain, my pain to someone else's, and it can still be a trap that can sometimes try to come up. But the reality is we all have pain, and out of that pain, though, there can be a purpose that can be forged. We have mess, and a message can be forged. A test happens, and a testimony comes from that. I believe that as we learn how to take those pains and those energies and those things that have happened to us and turn them on their head, then we can see that there is purpose in all of that. And we are where we are today. The strength that you have, or the strength that I have, or the strength that anybody has, didn't just come by sitting on the couch and eating bonbons all day and thinking everything was great. Trials and the things that we go through does grow us, and we can find the joy in that. And that's what I feel like you're saying, that there is joy on the other side of things.
There's always,
and that even in the middle of it, we can have joy. And then even before it, we can have joy, because that is who we are.
Yeah.
On the inside of us.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that there's no way that I have I'm 69. I've not had a joyous 69 years on this planet.
Yeah.
Stuff has happened to me. Stuff has happened to the family, in the family, and with the family. Stuff has happened to me within my working life and my career.
Yes.
But again, it's taking the lessons learned from that stuff.
Yes.
And moving forward with it. And that's the important thing, is learning the lessons. And as I said, okay to fail. It's okay to fall down. It's okay to put your head under the duvet, but it's not okay to stay there.
Right. Oh, I love you, Marion. Marion, this has been a delight just to sit and talk with you and just hear a little bit of your journey, but to hear some of the wisdom and some of the stuff that you have gained, like just over the years. And so, where can people find you? Like, if they're wanting to do one-to-one sessions, and I'll be putting this in the notes,
Yeah.
but where can people find you?
You can find me, my group in Facebook, I don't think of what it was called for a minute, it is Manifesting Joy.
Okay.
So you can find me there. And I do have a website, but I think you're going to put the link for the website in the notes, aren't you? Which is called Your Life Soul Coach, because that's what I do. I coach you for your life, but also with your soul. It's your soul that is really important, because I think once you come into your soul and you align with who you really are, again, the magic happens. That's how it works. Yeah, and that's how you can find me.
That's so exciting. And my hope is that people will find you, because I know the things that you've shared in that group and the things you shared here are valuable. But it has been an incredible pleasure just being with you, Marion, today. Yes.
It's been fun. I've enjoyed it. It's been joyous.
I'm glad. I'm glad it's been joyous. So is there any last little tidbit takeaway that you want to give someone, a little nugget at the end?
I would say, look for joy in every moment, because it is there. If you want to manifest a better life, I don't want to use the words a better life, but if you want to manifest something into your life, make sure that you're really clear about what you want. Start each day with a positive thought. Start each morning with positivity, even if it's a tiny little positive thought that I'm awake, I'm alive, I'm breathing. And then slowly you will build on that. Create affirmations for yourself and create them from your heart. Beautiful. And I think that is, and find the little bit of joy in every day. Going out into the garden a couple of weeks ago and seeing all the crocuses that popped their heads up. Coming into here end of last week, and my husband had cut some camellias off of the bush and put them in a vase on my desk. That I found them when I came into work. How joyous is that? You know, it's just finding the little bit of joy in each day. I sit here at the window and there's two finches that play in the hedge. So there is so much joy to find. So look for the joy. Allow the joy in.
Yes. Thank you, Marion.
Thank you.
Marion, you're amazing. And I'll be in touch after this with you.
Thank you. Much love.